Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Even in the dwindling twilight, the divers and the patrol boats are still out there off the Sicilian coast as I write, lending the tiniest credence to that slenderest of hopes. Might someone, in some miraculous air pocket, still be alive? It is now 2 days since the 183-foot British superyacht, the Bayesian, capsized in seconds and sank in 150 feet of water in the early hours of Monday. 6 people are missing, including the owner, British tech guru Mike Lynch, and his 18-year-old daughter, Hannah. Yet, divers have since reported finding a hull still apparently intact and lying on its starboard side with heavy detritus, furniture and so on, blocking their path to some of the cabins within. In the absence of bodies, one expert raised the dim possibility that someone might still be trapped in a submerged pocket of air. Nick Sloan, a salvage engineer who worked on the wreck of the Italian Costa Concordia cruise ship, told Sky News yesterday that they've got a very small window of time to try to find people. He added that, since the yacht was on its side and not upright, the prospects of trapped air were much greater. The next 24 hours are critical, he said. Jeremy Bloomer, twin brother of missing passenger Jonathan Bloomer, last night told the BBC, "It's a slow process and it will take time. So there might be air pockets, but we don't know. It's still wait and see, so fingers crossed." The authorities have not, quite, abandoned all notions of a miracle, though they were managing expectations last night. Italian Coast Guard spokesman Vincenzo Zagarola told reporters, "We suppose that the 6 people missing may not have had time to get out of the boat." Asked about the chance of any of them being alive, he replied, "Never say never, but reasonably the answer should be not." Here in the village of Porticello, it has to be said, an air of profound gloom hangs over what is usually a busy harbor. For now, it barely stirs, save for the comings and goings of rescue craft. Nothing could be more poignant than the hunt for Hannah Lynch. She had only just learned that she had secured the precious A-level grades needed to fulfill her dream of a place at Oxford when disaster struck in the blackness before dawn. There had already been so much for the Lynch family to celebrate that it could not all be crammed into one cruise. Wholly exonerated by an American jury after defending himself against a punitive 12-year legal assault in relation to the sale of his software business to the U.S.'s Hewlett-Packard Corporation, Mike Lynch had wanted to thank those who had stood loyally by through his darkest hours. Even a superyacht the size of the Bayesian, with 6 elegant guest staterooms, could not accommodate them all. So there would be a rotating circle of staunch friends and allies invited aboard to toast Dr. Lynch's new lease of life. Now there was something very different for the family to celebrate, alongside the latest batch of guests who arrived last weekend. And how it must have melted the hearts of Dr. Lynch and his wife Angela Baccarez. For their beautiful, clever younger daughter, Hannah, was now going to study for a degree at one of the world's finest universities. Dad might have been a mathematical prodigy during his days at Cambridge, but Hannah was looking forward to reading English at Trinity College, Oxford. What happier way to crown this summer's burst of good fortune for a family who, for all their wealth, had been through so much trauma in recent years. One schoolmate at West London's Latimer Upper School remembers Hannah as a wonderful, popular, creative talent full of dreams. This shocking maritime accident is already perplexing many of the most experienced names in sailing. How could one of the world's tallest yachts, designed by some of the finest in the business, simply capsize and sink in seconds? How could it do so not mid-Atlantic or in the depths of a winter storm, but in August in the Mediterranean less than a mile from the shore? And at anchor. And with all its sails furled? And, however unfair it may turn out to be, there is a question which may be asked in due course. Why were the skipper and all but one of the crew in the life raft while 6 of their passengers were unaccounted for? Standing here on a breezy Sicilian shore, watching the rescue boats and helicopters frantically trying to find the missing, the bewildering sense of disbelief weighs